Good afternoon, this is Joe at Watchdog Fine Protection. You know, yesterday we celebrated the 4th of July. It was interesting because, you know, it's a day that we celebrate our freedom, our constitutional rights, and family, because that's what freedom's all about. It's about being able to raise your family in a very safe environment. And the problem I'm having right now is our judicial system is attacking our families. And they're doing it through the court system and CPS. And one of the reasons I'm doing this podcast today is because I just recently got some information from the court that dismissed a very important case that I had in relation to a CPS worker who fraudulently made accusations about me, and as a result I got a protective order against me. But I want to start first with the very first CPS worker we had involved in our case was a woman named Bridget Summers. Here's her picture. Now if you notice, I'm going to show you the next picture here. This is something she posted. Okay. That's her. She's advocating smoking marijuana. You know, a CPS worker comes into your life and they discover you smoke pot. They present it to the court, and what happens? You lose your rights to your children because you smoke pot. Why are CPS workers allowed to do drugs? Why are they not being drug tested? It's a very good question. It's absurd. But getting back to the what I was going to talk about today, we're going to be talking about this woman right here. That's CPS worker, or should I say ex-CPS worker, Adley Snell. I'm going to go ahead and read some information I have here that I put together the other day. It says, the title is When Allegations Replace Evidence, My Experience with the West Virginia Court System. This podcast reflects my personal experiences, opinions, and understandings of events in my court cases. Other parties may disagree with my account, and courts ruled against me in several stages. My purpose is to discuss why I believe these proceedings raise important questions about due process and accountability. My first interaction with CPS worker Adley Snell occurred during my family's abuse and neglect proceedings before Judge Terrace Delango. During one hearing, Ms. Snow stated that she had attempted to contact me and had visited my residence twice, taking time-stamped photographs showing I was not home. I asked the court to require those photographs to be produced. I also questioned why I had not received a telephone call if CPS already had my phone number. According to my recollection, the photographs were not produced. I expressed concern about allowing Ms. Snow into my home because I believed inaccurate statements had already been made. The court assigned another CPS worker, and as the hearing concluded, Ms. Snow handed me her business card. Months later, I recall Ms. Snow accused my son and me of stalking her in open court. I again requested evidence. Later, she filed a Personal Safety Act petition against me. During the hearing before Magistrate Joe Sheldon, I again requested evidence supporting the allegations. The petition was granted, and I appealed. During the appeal before Judge Kerry Webster, I believe the court should review whether the magistrate followed the proper procedures. I objected because I believe additional allegations were discussed rather than limiting review to the issues presented below. The appeal was denied. Later, while attempting to contact my newly assigned CPS worker regarding visitation issues involving Leon's place, I accidentally tapped Ms. Snow's saved number. I immediately ended the call. There was no conversation, no message. Criminal charges were later filed. I voluntarily appeared after learning of a warrant and was processed and released on my own cognizance. According to my understanding, the criminal case did not proceed after Ms. Snow failed to appear, and there was insufficient evidence to continue. I later filed a civil lawsuit alleging these false allegations had been made in connection with protective order proceedings and related police report. The case was initially assigned to Judge Richard Lindsay and later transferred to Judge Carrie Webster. I sought a recusal because she had previously presided over my appeal. Their request was denied. I requested subpoenas for the police report and for the photograph that I believed she had previously referenced. According to my recollections, those materials were not produced. I requested a jury trial. My lawsuit was later dismissed after the court concluded that immunity applied. The legal issues that I believe my case include due process under Article 3, Section 10 of the West Virginia Constitution and the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. The right to a jury trial were applicable under the Article 3, Section 13 of the West Virginia Constitution. The West Virginia Personal Safety Act, West Virginia Code 53-8-1, and potential federal civil rights issues under 42 U.S.C. 1983. Whether people agree with my conclusions or not, I believe justice system would be best when allegations are supported by evidence, procedures are followed fairly, and every person has a meaningful opportunity to be heard. Evidence matters. Due process matters. Accountability matters. I'm going to show you her picture once again. Adley Snow. Out of nowhere, out of thin air, she just decides to file a petition, a protective order petition against me. She said in Joe Sheldon, the magistrate's courtroom, that Judge Tara Salango is the one that told her to do this, which, by the way, that would be ex parte communications. And why would Judge Tara Salango encourage her to file a petition, protective order against me? Makes no sense. But when I was in that courtroom, I asked Judge Sheldon to have her produce the so-called evidence. He, in turn, told me to shut up and proceeded to convict me civilly. And like I said earlier in my statement, I accidentally pressed the button on my phone and called her accidentally after the process of being convicted of stalking her, if you will, happened. I never made contact with her. I never did anything. But I did file a motion to the judge, not once but twice, to receive the so-called police report that she made, that Adley Snow made, as well as the so-called time-state-stamped photographs that she said she had, allegedly had. Bottom line is that she never showed up to court, the criminal aspect, because, one, in a criminal case you have to show evidence. It's not like a civil case. So she didn't show that case because she had no evidence, because nothing ever happened. The problem I'm having right now is these CPS workers, they have so much power that whatever they go into court with, the judge just automatically just rubber stamps it. And look at her. I mean, just take a good look at her. I mean, come on. Give me a break. This is the type of person you want to oversee the goings-on of your family? Are you serious? Give me a break. It's just unbelievable, the position we're in right now. Adley Snow is a criminal. She filed a false police report. She filed a false statement to the court. And guess what? The court, Judge Carrie Webster herself, put in writing that she's given this woman immunity. Immunity, even though she filed a false police report. But, you know, those are against the law to do. So I try to keep this case private. I try to keep it inside the courtroom. But when you have judges like Carrie Webster who completely violate your civil rights, absolutely no due process whatsoever. In fact, and I'll show you here, this is even more ridiculous. Where do you see this? This is how ridiculous the system is. I have the final, right here, in these papers. The final court order from, this is the court order, okay, dismissing this case from Judge Webster's courtroom. Notice, nothing's signed, nothing's dated. This is a court. This is a court order. You know, these people are lunatics. They're absolutely lunatics. I mean, come on. And not to mention this court order I just got in the paper, in my mailbox about a week ago, and it was about a month before that I filed for a writ of mandamus, which motivated Kerry Webster to move forward on this case, only to discover that this case was dismissed a year ago, and I never was notified. Imagine that, a case being dismissed a year ago and never being notified. And when I finally do get notified, it comes with a piece of paper with no signature from a judge at all. It's ridiculous. It's very suspicious at best. It sounds to me as though that they made this, had the clerk's office make this thing up immediately to cover their own butts, because this case was not dismissed a year ago. It was dismissed probably a week ago. Bottom line is, look, we're dealing with some criminals. The judges at 111 Court Street, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them are acting like criminals. I'll give you, for instance, Judge Tara Salango, Judge Kerry Webster, Judge Richard Lindsay, Judge Ballard, Kenneth Ballard, and others, and don't forget Jennifer Bailey. They're acting like criminals. I mean, Judge Ballard himself produced a document banning me from the courthouse. I'm not allowed to go into the Kanawha County Courthouse. Why? Because Judge Ballard said I can't. No reason, no court case, no nothing. It's outrageous. We are being attacked by our leaders, and it starts with these people right here. The CPS workers, okay, are the very first contact that we have. If they are not legitimate, if they are not concerning about your family and making your family whole, that's where it starts. If you have a corrupt CPS worker combined with the corrupt gal, combined with the corrupt judge, you're going to lose your children. And in the state of West Virginia, more than any other state in the country, we're the #1 state in the entire union with removal of children. This is a business, ladies and gentlemen. These people are making, not the people, but the state is making a ton of money off of the removal of our children. And it starts right here. If you have a corrupt CPS worker, that's where it starts. Thank God she's no longer a CPS worker. I don't know what she's doing right now. Hopefully it's not, it has nothing to do with children, because this woman is just really, really bad. And she's not the only one. Case after case after case in West Virginia and in other states, we hear CPS workers making up lies. But this one went overboard. I mean, for her to actually do a protective order against a disabled senior citizen, an innocent grandfather, out of thin air, is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm outing her. I'm going to continue outing her until this case gets heard. I am definitely going to appeal the decision by Judge Webster, because, first of all, it's completely wrong. It's unconstitutional. I have a legal right to sue someone who makes a false allegation against me, and I'm doing that. I'm going to do that. So until this case becomes something that's interested by the higher court and taken seriously, I'm going to continue to let people know that Adelaide Snow is a fraud, and she is by far one of the worst CPS workers I come in contact with, and I've dealt with several of them. And I got to be honest with you, I haven't had any good relationships with any of the CPS workers. They're all corrupt. At least everyone I've come in contact with. That being the case, I'm going to let you know that we are not anti-family court. We are not anti-CPS. We are pro-justice. Thank you.